In this lecture, we are going to learn some terminologies used in microbiology, and these terminologies are starting from letter A. So let's start the lecture. First of all, we learn that abiotic are biotic. Abiotic means non-living and biotic means living. For example, we use abiotic factors or biotic factors means uh, non-living factors are living factors are living things. Second terminology is abiogenesis. A means without. So generation of life from abiotic component are non-living things. Generation of living things or living organism from non-living things are non-living component. So basically, this was a theory. Aerobes. Aerobes are those bacteria, those microorganisms which require atmospheric oxygen or molecular oxygen for their respiration or survival. So basically, these microorganisms use molecular oxygen, and without molecular oxygen they can't survive. For example, Pseudomonas aeruginosa or Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So these are aerobic bacteria. Anaerobes. Anaerobes are those bacteria, those microorganisms that can survive in the absence of atmospheric oxygen. So if molecular oxygen or atmospheric oxygen is not available, the anaerobes can survive or can grow. For example, Clostridium bacteria, Clostridium tetani, Clostridium perfringens. So there are some other type of bacteria that can grow or survive without oxygen. Aerotolerant. Aerotolerant are basically anaerobes or anaerobic bacteria that can tolerate atmospheric oxygen to certain level, and it is not necessary to for these bacteria to use the atmospheric oxygen. But if atmospheric oxygen is present, they can tolerate the oxygen. Antibiotics. Antibiotics are medicines or chemicals used against bacteria or bacterial infections. So most oftenly we use antibiotics in many type of bacterial infection. For example, we can use azithromycin in strep throat infections. So they can kill bacteria, and these are called antibiotics. Antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic resistance basically means ability of bacteria to escape the effect of antibiotics. For example, there are certain types of antibiotics currently present in the market that bacteria show resistance towards it. For example, erythromycin is such type of antibiotic that many type of streptococcus species are resistant nowadays to erythromycin. Antiseptics. Antiseptics are those antimicrobial that are applied over living tissues. So basically, antiseptics are applied on living tissues such as skin to kill the pathogens or to kill the bacteria. Next terminology is archaea. Archaea are basically bacteria. Domain of prokaryotic microorganisms. So these are prokaryotic organisms. These are similar in morphology to bacteria, but unique biochemistry against microorganisms. It means that the archaea cell wall and some kind of other component such as ribosomes, and they are differ from eubacteria in their biochemistry. Aseptic means sterilized or free from microbes, without microbes. For example, aseptic environment, the environment which is free from microbes. Antagonistic means against, showing inhibitory or cidal. Cidal means killing response to another microbe or bacteria. Amphitrachus. Amphitrachus means bacteria with single flagellum at each end. For example, a bacteria having single flagellum on both sides or both ends. This bacteria is called Amphitrachus bacteria. Atrachus, A means without. So these are those bacteria lacking flagella. Alpha hemolytic. Alpha hemolytic means the bacteria are the microorganisms that partially disrupt RBCs or degrade RBCs, giving greenish zone of hemolysis. If we observe the zone of hemolysis, its color is greenish. Attenuate. Attenuate means to reduce the virulence of a pathogen. For example, most oftenly you may hear this terminology in vaccination. So attenuated vaccine is the vaccine which is prepared from a wild type of pathogen, but its virulence has been reduced. Autoclave. Autoclave is basically an equipment and it is used to sterilize the things or media, uses a pressurized or hot steam. So it is basically the principle of autoclave in which we use hot steam under pressure. Autotrophs. Autotrophs are basically organisms that can synthesize their own food. It may include higher and lower organisms, such as higher plant that can synthesize their own food, or lower organisms such as bacteria and algae. They can also synthesize their own food. So these are called autotroph, or autotrophic organisms. ATCC. ATCC means American Type Culture Collection. Basically, ATCC is an organization that can provide some known species or some known type of cultures, cell lines. So one can order and purchase known type of cell line or known type of organism having some unique characteristics also. So the ATCC organization can provide the specific type of desired microorganisms. They store and provide the standard. Okay, thank you so much.